Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 206th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I put onto YouTube. This battle was supplied by Brotherhood member TR. The team today consists of Brotherhood member Killer. If you look there, you can see his name is Balik, but if you read the name backwards, you will see that it says Killer B. I think it took us a bit of time to work that out, but yeah, if you read his name backwards, you can see it's Brotherhood member Killer B. As I said, he's bought the Rome Scipio faction. And then we have a Brotherhood member Pain, who's actually is Crimson Overlord. Brotherhood member Crimson Overlord, and he has bought the Rome SBQR faction. And then their final teammate is a supplier of this battle, and it is Brotherhood member TR, who has bought the Macedon faction. TR is really good with pike factions, so looking at the team should be a great battle for you to watch. At this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at Brotherhood member TR's Macedon army. I believe he's got 14 Royal Pikemen there. As you know, the Royal Pikemen are a 120-man unit with those long pikes. The morale's not very good of those pikemen, but they are pretty formidable troops when they're kept in a tight formation. Maybe, as I say, got 14 units of them. Then he's got his long distance Cretan archers. Now these guys, as I said, have got long distance and also do a lot of damage and are essential to a Macedon general, because his pikemen are so susceptible to archer fire. He needs good archers himself to kind of cover his pikemen. And then at the rear there, I see he's got 3 units of companion cavalry. Now these companion cavalry have got good specifications, are tough cavalry, and are also known as the winged horsemen. And the reason why they're called the winged horsemen is, if you look closely, you can see they've got kind of wings on their helmets. But these cavalry are pretty formidable. So I think that Macedon army that's pretty tough to me. Should be interesting to see how well it does during the course of the battle. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Jack, who has bought the Rome Julii faction. Just like to draw your attention there to Jack bringing 4 auxiliary archers there. Now, bringing 4 archers is a lot for 31k, but the reason he's bought them is because he knows he's fighting Macedon. And what his aim is there is to cause as many casualties of the pikemen with his archers as he can. There's the rest of his army, his infantry and his cavalry. But those archers are there specifically, my guess is, for those Macedon pikemen. And then we have Heaven's member Exirith, or Zirith, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, and he has bought the Rome Julii faction there. And once again, can you see he's bought 4 archers as well. Once again, all targeting TR, mostly targeting TR's pikemen, and that's why they've bought them. And there's the other part of his army there. You see he's only got, I think it's 10 infantry and 6 cavalry there. And then their final teammate is Brotherhood member Ultimate Bob, and I noticed that he's also bought 4 archers. So between them they've bought 12 archer units, which is unusual for the modern day 31k battlefield. But this battle was fought approximately 4 years ago. RTW veterans will remember Ultimate Bob, and will remember Brotherhood member Jack as well. As I say, it's a 4-year-old battle. Should be a good one for you to watch. At this very early stage of the battle, you can see that Brotherhood member Killer B is sending a cavalry unit over to do as much damage to these Julii archers as he can. Now this is good teamwork by Killer, because he knows that the enemy will target his teammate TR's Macedon pikeman there. So what he sent that cavalry unit over is kind of a bit of a sacrificial cav unit, my guess is there, just to try and take out as many of the enemy archers as he can there before they get a chance to start probably targeting the Cretan archers first, hopefully to kill them, and then target TR's pikemen. So that was a nice bit of teamwork there by Killer B. Let's say this is in a very early stage of the battle. And once again, can you see Killer B taking that cavalry unit out again? Notice that he's got that cavalry unit in normal formation, not wedge, because in normal formation the cavalry unit will move faster. And of course those archers, they move quite fast as well, so with that unit in that particular formation there, he can move faster and try and take out as many of the archers as he can. But as I say, the Julii red team there, they've got 12 archers between them, and my guess is the reason they bought those is to try and target those Macedon pikemen after they've taken out those Cretan archers. As I said, bearing in mind this is a very early stage of the battle there, you can see they've targeted TR's Cretan archers already. This unit's down to 14 men. As I say, that's what they'd like to do, is take out the Cretan archers, so it kind of takes out the danger to their own archers there, and then they'll concentrate their fire onto TR's pikemen if they get the chance. As you can see, a lot of TR's Cretan archer units here are now suffering really loads of casualties here due to that concentrated archer fire on them at the moment. That's a good solid tactic by the red Julii team there to take out the Cretan archers first before they start then concentrating their archer fire onto the Macedon pikemen. So really, I think what TR is thinking, by the way he's positioned his army there, he's thinking about attack here. If he stands around, obviously he's going to be a sitting target for all those enemy archers. So I think probably what's going through his head here is he needs to attack. So it wouldn't surprise me if he did a flat out attack on the enemy army right in front of him there. Right, can you see TR now is running his Macedon pikemen forward with their pikes up, but the moment he comes into contact with the Julii army there, bang, down goes his pikes. See, that formation is very strong with its pikes down there, and he's put his pikes down and he's advancing into the Julii units there. You can see that the Julii pilots are really raining in on the Macedon pikemen there, but TR knows that really if he stood around there, if he didn't do anything, he would be a sitting target for all those archers. So he's trying to attack, trying to disrupt the enemy plan there. He's routed 2 or 3 of the enemy Julii infantry units that were in front of him here. If you notice that Payne or Crimson Overlord has brought some of his SBQR Roman units over to this right flank to support TR. Nice lot of support there by the Brotherhood team there on TR's side. Let's just pause the game for a second to take stock of exactly what's happening. As you can see here, the Julii cavalry and archer units are moving out to TR's right flank there. But if you notice, Payne or Crimson Overlord has noticed this and is bringing his some of his SBQR infantry units round to that right flank, probably to push against those archers and cavalry there with that infantry to try and get them away from TR's flank. As you can see in the centre there, there's not a lot going on at the moment, except for that those couple of cavalry units smashing into that Testudo unit there. As you can see there, that Testudo units took a bit of a hammering there from that cavalry attack. You can actually see SBQR troops being thrown up into the air from the impact of that cavalry. As you can see, the Julii cavalry charging straight into that Testudo unit there. Looks like leading cavalry troops there have actually pushed into the centre of that Testudo. Meanwhile, over on the left flank, at the moment, not a lot going on between Ultimate Bob and Killer B, but of course we've seen this loads of times in the past. The quiet areas sometimes become one of the hottest spots on the battlefield. Let's see what happens next. Right, as you can see, Crimson Overlord there is moving some of his SBQR units round to the right, trying to take away that threat of the cavalry and archers on TR's right flank there. Once again, nice to see a lot of support work there by Crimson Overlord supporting TR's pikemen. If you like, yeah, they've got a lot of cavalry and archers over to the right, but they're quite a soft target. Crimson can just keep pushing with his infantry forward, driving those archers away, probably making those cavalry turn away as well. Once again, lessening the threat to this right flank. Okay, Crimson's only got 3 cavalry units, but combined with his infantry he's brought round there, that's quite a good force to to push any enemy away from that right flank. There you go. And if you notice, the enemy have pulled back from the threatening position they were taking on that right flank there, giving TR a bit of a breathing space there, because I imagine he was probably concerned about what was happening on that right flank. There's a close-up of the pikemen fighting the Julii force there. As you can see, Crimson Overlord's taking his SPQR force further on round to the right. And if you notice that the Julii team now have brought some infantry, a bit more infantry over to that flank as well there, supported by their cavalry and archer units. So there's a lot going on over on that right flank. If you go over the centre here, there's a general picture of what's actually happening on the battlefield here. If you notice over here on the left flank, do you remember a few minutes ago we were looking and it was quiet, nothing was happening? If you notice now that Ultimate Bob, Brotherhood member Ultimate Bob, has now attacked with his Julii army. If you notice that Killer B's got 3 of his cavalry units out to the far left there, just probably looking for a chance and a place to do a surgical strike with those 3 cavalry units. But if you notice that Ultimate Bob is really attacking aggressively now with his Julii infantry onto Killer's infantry there. Be interesting to see what happens there, because both Killer and Ultimate Bob are really renowned for their aggressive tactics there. So it'll be interesting to see how that battle of part of the battlefield unfolds. Right, here's a shot of the archers there firing fire arrows into the Macedon pikemen there. Remember, fire arrows not only cause casualties, but they lower morale, and Macedon morale is not very good anyway, so that's why they're using fire arrows onto those Macedon pikemen there. Right, if you notice there, can you see red Julii cavalry starting to charge in onto Killer's Scipii, engaged Scipii units there? A couple of Scipii units there engaged. It wouldn't surprise me if he routed 1 or 2 of those units there. Yeah, the impact of that cavalry charge there just routed one of Killer's units there. And if you notice, can you see the Julii general charged in, got his full cavalry charge bonus, and pulls his cavalry back out again. Doesn't want to tangle with infantry too long. And that's something that newer players watching this, when you use cavalry charging, get your full cavalry charge bonus, don't tangle with the infantry, and pull back out and reform. As you can see here on the left flank, there's a lot of aggressive attacking going on there. In the centre here, you can see the Macedon pikemen are just kind of holding their own there in the centre. Not a lot going on, but if you notice, there's a gap developing between Macedon and Killer B out on the left flank there. Meanwhile, over on the right flank here, you can see that Crimson Overlord has brought his SPQR army round in a grand flanking action there, chasing off a few of the enemy infantry units, the cavalry units and the archers that was there. He's also charging some of his cavalry, into the enemy there. Looks like he routed one of the Julii units. That is a nice grand flanking action there by Crimson Overlord. As I say, he pushed into the soft enemy units that were over there. When I say soft, I mean it was just cavalry, a few infantry units, and mostly archers there. So by using his whole SPQR infantry going around there, he's made a big inroad into their flank. Meanwhile, over on the left flank here, you can see the enemy are really aggressively trying to smash the left flank of TR's teammate here. Killer's held for a long time there, like almost like a sacrificial lamb there, holding there, enabling Crimson Overlord to bring his SPQR units round on that flank in action there. So once again, nice teamwork there by all of TR's team there, and nice aggressive work by the enemy Julii team there. As you can see, Killer's brought his cavalry units in that he was having lurking out of the rear. He's brought them in to attack the Julii infantry there. But unfortunately for him, his cavalry has been intercepted by the enemy Julii cavalry there.
The gods be praised! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches!
So if you notice there, most of Killer B's Scipii infantry have been routed at this stage on this flank. He's still got some units left. But for all intents and purposes, a lot of his army has been routed here on this left flank. But through that sacrifice and holding for as long as he did, he's allowed his teammate Crimson Overlord, as I said, to do that flanking action with his SBQR army there. Maybe this flanking action by Crimson Overlord might be a pivotal part of the battle here, because he's disrupted the enemy line as well and caused a lot of casualties to the enemy. It looks like the Julii cavalry general here is still trying to take out what's left of Killer's Scipio army there, but Killer wisely has pulled back a bit. And it wouldn't surprise me if this Julii cavalry did try to charge into what's left of Killer B's army there. See the impact of that cavalry charge, actually throwing Scipio infantrymen up into the air there with the impact of that charge. But if you notice, Killer B's brought as many infantry in as he can. He's got left. He's bringing some cavalry units that have rallied. He's charging those in as well. His Macedon ally is charging in the companion cavalry as well. And I noticed his Macedon ally is bringing a couple of pike units over as well. Of course, bringing those pike units over will affect the enemy cavalry there. They don't want to get tangled. They don't like getting tangled with infantry anyway, but they definitely don't want to get tangled with pikemen, as pikemen have got an anti-cavalry bonus. So they're just trying to destroy as much of the Scipio army as they can there. Meanwhile, over on the right flank here, you can see that Crimson Overlord with his SBQR army there is pressing in on one of the Julii. Enemy Julii armies there. And it looks like Crimson Overlord's SBQR army is doing very well here on the right flank, even though he is outnumbered by enemy cavalry. Let's just pause the game for a second to take stock of exactly what's going on. As you can see here, Crimson Overlord still continuing that right flanking action that he started there. Is starting to take out a lot of the Julii infantry units. He's just taken out that Julii general there. Moving over to the centre, you can see that TR's infantry is facing a few of the Julii infantry there, but not a lot of action going on in the centre. If you notice, there's Julii cavalry in behind TR's team there. Let's say over here on this left flank, most of Killer B's Scipio infantry has now been routed. And that Julii cavalry is trying to finish him off, but fair play to TR, bringing a couple of pike units over there to help Killer there against those cavalry units there.
This is no way.
Wouldn't surprise me if you saw a lot of those Julii cav units starting to rout now, bearing in mind they're facing anti-cavalry pikemen there, and it wouldn't surprise me if they start. There you go. You can see a lot of those Julii cavalry are starting to rout now. The centre is still quite quiet, but over there on the right flank, can you see the enemy Julii generals there bringing over some reinforcements over to that flank to attack Crimson Overlord. If you notice, there's some Julii cavalry that have just charged in behind Crimson Overlord as well there. So there's a lot of to and fro going over here on this right flank. If you notice that TR is bringing his Macedon pikemen over here to help his ally. Once again, just like to say, in this battle there was loads of aggressive attacking by the Julii team and really great support work by TR's team there. Great battle to watch. Got a bit of everything in, really. Great attacking and great defence and teamwork as well. You can see it's still about 50-50 here at the moment, with the amount of Julii units that are routing and SBQR units that are routing as well here. There's a bit of a close-up of some cavalry fighting, but I think with the arrival of TR's Macedon pikes, that could just about tip the balance in this battle, I'm thinking. There you are. If you notice, TR moving units in now with their pikes down. Crimson Overlord attacking again with his SBQR infantry. As you can see, the Julii army now with their general is kind of surrounded by pikemen. If you notice there's Mastodon pikemen pushing in from all sides into that Julii army, so their morale will be dropping a lot. Because in this game, troops realise when they're surrounded and when they're being attacked. And wouldn't surprise me, even though they've got their general there, if their morale started to drop quite a lot. If you notice here, can you see TR slowly moving his pike unit forward there towards that cavalry, kind of almost chasing them off there. Killer's managed to rally some of his units that were probably routed there and brought them back into the fray. Look where he's attacking. He's attacking the Julii general there, using his years of experience, knowing that if he can kill that Julii general, then that will hasten the morale drop of the rest of those Julii units and probably cause a mass rout there. If you notice all the way through the battle, it seemed to me that the Julii team seem to have a big cavalry advantage and have been using them in big massive hits and have caused a lot of casualties to TR and his teammates there. But if you notice, a lot of the enemy Julii units are starting to rout now. And I think it's just down to a couple of Julii units left. I think the general, Ultimate Bob's general, I think, is left there, and he's just routed as well. So it's like at this stage, about TR and his teammates have managed to go on and win the battle there. As I say, this battle was fought approximately 4 years ago now. But I think modern RTW players probably quite like to see the older battles sometimes, just for a bit of nostalgia, if you like.
Great God be praised! The enemy
I think that was the Julii general's just been killed. What I'd like to do is show you the battlefield here. Now this was only a 3v3, but can you see how spread out the battle was? Big clumps of dead at several places on the battlefield here, which goes to show how spread out and intense the fighting was on certain parts of the battlefield. I say it's very, very spread out. Difficult to get everything on camera for you, but hopefully I got most of the action there for you. Right, the first thing I'd like to say is once again, really well played to everybody in the game there. I like to see the aggressive attacking tactics of the Julii team there. Really great attacking there, guys, and great defense and teamwork there by TR and his team there. Let's say Brotherhood member Jack, Brotherhood member Ultimate Bob, and Heaven's Exervith there. Very good attacking force there. And as I say, well done to Payne for that great right flanking movement he did there. I think that might have been a pivotal part of the battle there, where he did that right flanking movement there. That was a great tactical move. Well done for Killer on that left flank, holding as long as he did, almost like a sacrificial lamb there, holding the Julii forces up, allowing Crimson Overlord to do that right flanking action. And well done to TR as well. I thought his army was solid, stood its ground and held really well in the centre there, plus sending support units off to help his allies as well. So really well done to that team. Let's say Jack, the Heavens clan member, and Ultimate Bob, as I said before, really great attacking moves there. Let's say this battle was fought approximately 4 years ago, and it was a great battle to watch. Thanks again very much to TR, and I hope all of you watching this enjoyed the battle. And I think watching the older ones sometimes is it's quite interesting if you can compare them to the newer battlefields. It's Spartan Commander saying bye for now. See you soon.